back to Bandwagon Fans. This is Jeff.
Jason.
And before we get talking about the movie, I just want to invite everybody to subscribe to the channel. And if you like what you see here, go ahead and hit that like button. Any positive feedback or negative feedback, I appreciate. So we are actually going to be talking about Alita: Battle Angel. And for a moment, we're just going to go ahead and enjoy some highlights from the trailer.
Does it bother you that I'm not completely human?
You are the most human person I have ever met.
You are someone very special.
Hey, kid.
Not just a teenage girl.
Hey, what's your problem?
You can't remember.
What do you mean?
Doc found you in the scrapyard. So you must be from up there.
And I'm just an insignificant girl.
Yeah, that's what they want you to think.
I'm not your daughter. I don't know what I am.
I do. You're the most advanced weapon ever. But that's just a shell. It's not bad or good. That part's up to you.
I do not stand by in the presence of evil.
She's threatening the natural order of things. Tonight is not a game. It is a hunt. I need you to destroy the girl called Alita.
You made the biggest mistake of your life.
Alright, so that was some highlights from the trailer. We're gonna do a little pop quiz. So we saw this on Thursday, opening night. It's now Saturday when we're actually recording this video.
Yeah.
How much of the movie do you actually remember?
I remember a lot of it still.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
It set with me pretty good. It's so much familiarity that it's able to... But again, the movie doesn't really have a solid flow, does it?
Yeah, and that was kind of the point of because even 2 days later.
So it's kind of, yeah.
So, but going in, so Alita: Battle Angel is produced by James Cameron, directed by Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah.
And this is the story. It's a post-apocalyptic world.
Yeah, it was a manga. It was a Japanese manga back in the 90s.
Did you read the book at all?
No, I did not. I was familiar with it, but supposedly James Cameron has been wanting to do this for about 20 years.
For a while, yeah.
You know,
kind of like Avatar. There's a lot of things.
This was better than Avatar.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind 4 more of these over 4 more Avatar movies.
Yeah, that's true. And then actors, we got Rosa Salazar was playing Alita. Christopher Waltz was playing the doctor who discovered her. And we'll talk about the story here in just a moment.
Sure.
And then Jennifer Connelly played the doctor's ex-wife.
Yeah, who was kind of the doctor / kind of supporter of these games that were going on that we'll get into.
Yeah. So basically the story is this is a post-apocalyptic world in which all of the wealthy elite have...
Yeah, you got one of that thing where it's like, you know, a select part of the world is still walled and there's a community and there's a city in the clouds.
Yeah.
And
the Sky City where all the elite live in.
Yeah, and was it called Sinai or what was it called? It was called it had like a Bible name.
Oh, I don't remember.
But you know, this is one of the last floating cities. This is like 400 or 500 years into the future. So apparently the world went to floating cities and then had a war and then lost all of that technology. And it's kind of like now there's scavengers. There's the movie starts out with waste going down into a dump, and it starts out. It reminded me like Wall-E.
I was thinking the same thing.
And also one of the first cartoon of Heavy Metal.
Yeah.
Where it starts out with scavengers. The guy finds the orb.
Everything in this movie reminds me of something.
Yeah, and everything's like a scene that reminds you of another movie. Like this beginning reminds you of Wall-E. The doctor finds the scraps. Finds like of Alita from like her head and
her
like
core.
Her brain's still intact, and so he takes her home and
rebuilds her.
Gives her this body that he already had made.
Right. And so we're gonna try to avoid spoilers because the movie is pretty new out.
Yeah.
But basically, he makes her. It turns out that she is, she's actually a cyborg from centuries past who is also like one of the most advanced weapons ever created. And
yeah, I mean, it starts out with her. She has the amnesia,
yeah.
cliche like there. She slowly gets the flashbacks, gets her memory back. So, throughout the pictures, she has the flashbacks of her, in scenarios that gives her more clues about where she came from. And so you have the doctor here that's he has his own kind of mission because there's been a loss with him to where the marriage got broken up and he decided to go out. A lot of red herrings, a lot of, this guy's the villain.
Yeah.
That's the villain. This. A lot of that going on, but it's not like stale. It's not, I didn't find that kind of like, okay.
Put a pin in the red herrings because we're going to come back to that.
Yeah, okay. So she wakes up the next day after she gets rebuilt. She goes out. She walks around, meets this boy.
Meets the boy. So we're gonna put a pin in this because it's another thing to come back to. But yeah, she meets the boy. They instantly fall in love.
Yeah.
And then he shows her the main game in this world is motorball.
All right, this is called motorball, and it's just like what you think. And every single futuristic kind of sport, in a way, has some kind of twist on rollerball or roller derby.
It's basically roller derby with a ball.
So it's basically it's rollerball if it was played by cybernetics and not just normal athletes.
Although the boy,
and of course you get that cliche in the movie where the game is bigger than anybody,
right?
And that was in rollerball,
And so she simultaneously has to become the world motorball champion and fend off some hunters that are after her.
Well, now the doctor though. Now let's put this out here that the doctor used to work for the games, and he used to be a surgeon for them, and some bad things happen along the way. To where now he's very discouraged about that, and he does not want to lead to getting into it under any.
Right.
But you don't really know, and then you find out through a course of events. But the doctor turns out that the doctor kind of does some moonlighting.
Right.
And she kind of finds out she gets curious, so one night she goes out.
We're starting to get into some spoiler territory.
Okay, well I'm just saying she goes out and things happen.
But
but I just wanted to get to where it's discovered that she has these abilities that she doesn't know where they come from.
This is that first pin I wanted to put in. They had these red herrings or these false trails where they start leading you down one road, but they get resolved so fast.
Yeah, they do. Like what I said, that it's this felt like a TV series condensed into a 2-hour movie.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, that's kind of what I feel in a way. It's so many things happen to where they could have been their own little episodes leading up to this. And then, of course, it's all drawn into it does leave it open for a sequel. I don't think I'm spoiling anything there.
Huge sequel, baby.
But, after everything that happened, you're so... I haven't told you, I thought, even though I didn't think it lagged, I thought the movie was longer than it was.
Right.
Because so much was packed into it.
Yeah, now overall... I think we both enjoyed the movie. Both liked it, and we're both looking forward to future installments. I was worried about the animation going into it. I was worried that the animation would be too close to reality, which would actually be jarring.
Right. This is a problem you have with Ready Player One.
Yeah. Now, and in reality, the animation was actually fantastic, and visually it was
very smooth and natural looking. I thought too.
It was the actual story, which was pretty. The story itself was pretty weak, and the characters were really super one-dimensional.
Yeah.
Now, when we came out of the movie, you asked if she was a Mary Sue.
The topic comes up a lot nowadays.
Yeah.
And I was arguing the point that, of course this one gets a pass because she's cybernetic.
But
you're so used to that kind of perfection in your sci-fi when it comes to stuff like that.
I wouldn't give it a pass because for me it's probably the biggest issue with the movie is that she is the central character. Alita is the central character, but there is zero development. She has zero internal conflict. It's just she has
They
to.
just
She has
explain
to
that she just has the natural instinct that
Yeah.
was programmed
She just-
in her.
She just has to
her-
beat up a series of characters. It's basically like watching somebody play a video game, and there's no conflict with
And
her.
I think in a
There's
sense they
no-
wanted this movie to look like a video game.
to look like a video game, yeah, but in
Yeah.
terms of the narrative, video games aren't fun to watch. They're fun to play, but
Yeah.
I mean, okay, I guess.
I don't know. I watch them. I
some
can be
people do
entertained
the
by
let's watch.
watching.
Some people do the let's watches, but
Yeah,
in terms of a narrative, it's not. There's better choices, and
But there were,
choices they made were pretty weak.
you know, even though you have those scenes where she was just perfect and you know she kicked ass and she was handling everything. There's also the scenes like there were some pretty sappy scenes, like the
Yeah.
heart scene.
Oh yeah.
And so it's like you're like, oh well, one minute you're like, and then the next minute you're like, oh okay, well,
Yeah.
so I don't know, but that whole thing, I don't know, I've just been conditioned my life to just see those type of characters as just being kind of perfect in their own way anyway, like Data on Star Trek or
Right,
something
and
like that, It's, even if they caught amnesia, I can kind of understand the programming instinct that they kind of,
Yeah.
mentioned in this movie and kind of explained it that way.
Yeah, and for me, I just want.
Yeah, you want.
I'm more. And it's one of the reasons I love the Marvel movies so much is that they never
Sure.
forget that it's about characters.
And we'll also hate 20 movies.
Yeah,
Again,
20.
one of our arguments about this movie, it felt like 20 movies in one movie, man.
It did.
Again, I think I don't know. I don't know if that was a conscious decision on Robert Rodriguez or James Cameron or to shove so much into one, thinking if we don't get a sequel out of it, let's make this.
Yeah.
But as full as they tried to make the movie, it's still the ending is just so open.
Yeah.
That it's like, come on, man.
It reminded me of, and I don't know if you ever watched the Dark Angel series with Jessica Alba.
Oh yeah.
But it kind of reminded me
that
of
was
season,
James Cameron.
Yeah, it was. It reminded me of season 2 of Dark Angel, where it ended on, and obviously when they ended it, they were expecting a season 3 to come out, but it never actually did.
Oh yeah.
So Alita Battle Angel, they clearly are expecting a sequel because the whole movie builds up to a point of her confronting somebody, but we're not going to get that.
No, you don't even find out really. You don't even really see the confrontee until the end.
Yeah. So the main villain doesn't even show up in this movie.
Yeah, I mean he's like holograph messages and stuff. And he had a power about. You want to give that away? Is that a spoiler?
We'll stop talking about it because I think we already went into kind of spoiler territory.
Sure.
I'm sorry, but
I think we're okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so what were the strongest things that you liked about the movie?
I liked the sport. I did like that. I did like the motorball.
The world building.
I'm a huge fan of rollerball. I did like the way it was pretty detailed.
Yeah.
You did feel like this was a world.
Excellent world building. Yeah. Visually, it was visually stunning. This is some of the best.
Yeah, a lot of
some of the best CG
a lot of
animation.
action scenes where they, where you really get like the whole full of the city and everything.
I always felt like I knew what was going on, even with some of the action scenes. You didn't. It was.
I think that goes with the familiarity too, right?
Yeah.
This being a James Cameron movie, I guess it's like like with Ready Player One with Spielberg last year.
Now
you'll get that familiarity.
This is a PG-13 movie, but I do have to say some of the violence was because it's cyborgs.
That's probably like the dismemberment.
Yeah, they were able to get away with a lot more violence than you would typically see in a PG-13 movie.
There was one scene that was sad, but we won't give that away.
I'm not sure which one you're thinking.
I'm thinking the post-bar scene, or in the bar.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But then he comes back, he gets his revenge on him with there's cyber dogs in this movie, and that's badass, guys. That's not giving anything away.
I was thinking one particular scene where somebody is beheaded, and their head is like stuck to a wall.
Oh no, that was great. No, the girl.
Yeah, but
right.
So on the one hand, they try to make the point that these cyborgs are actually really human, But then on the other hand, they're able to get away with violence that you would never be able to do against humans in a PG-13 movie.
What is it like? Like it's all cyber, but they emphasized how like the brains are
all human, yeah.
And how like there was. Are we giving a spoiler away by saying there's black market in this?
No. I mean, so there's.
I mean, human parts and cyber parts.
Yeah. So there's as people are gathering up these body parts, that's what the hunters are basically doing.
Yeah, and that's another like red herring thing there where we're getting into with some other characters. What about the actor that played the head of the motorball? What's that gentleman's name? I forgot the actor.
Oh, Vector.
Remind me of Wesley Snipes in this movie for some reason.
Mahershala Ali.
He
probably
was
gets
good.
Wesley Snipes a lot.
Well, he was good in it. That's not making fun or nothing by any means. He like a good Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
Like New Jack City Wesley.
Yeah. So I mean, for me, visually the movie was just stunning.
Yeah. It's like Black Panther. Even if you don't care about the story, you're in for a good visual experience.
And I did care about Alita.
It seems like a good visual experience is what James Cameron excels at.
Yes, it is.
So see these movies in the theater.
It's definitely worth seeing in the theater.
Definitely.
But I also think I don't think it's going to be a movie that really sticks with people. And that was kind of the point I was making in the very beginning.
It's like Fifth Element, a remembered science fiction movie with the genre. But
speaking of Fifth Element, the movie starts with a trope that was prominent in Fifth Element, and it's the trope is called "Born Sexy Yesterday." It's another like perfect girl who's drop dead gorgeous, who was just created fully formed with no memory. And the first guy she sees, she falls madly in love with. In some you could kind of argue that Wonder Woman had the same trope. Fifth Element definitely had it. But it is kind of a tired trope, and it's time to move past.
Well, the Wonder Woman one comes from that old fashioned rescuing somebody and falling for them.
Yeah.
But no, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Anyways. That topic is going to come up when Wonder Woman 84 comes out. I'm definitely going to bring this up again because I'm a little annoyed that they're bringing Steve back from the dead after.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, well, he's in the movie. I'm not sure if it's going to be flashbacks or if he's actually somehow going to be.
He needs work. They stopped making Star Trek movies. Poor guy.
She's basically a goddess, and she's still pining over this guy that died 100 years ago. It's kind of sad.
Isn't that always the way?
Yeah. Because anyways, so that would I might do a video later, a companion video talking about this trope, and this movie, and Alita would definitely come up, but it didn't drag the movie down.
I mean, again, let's give her, she's inexperienced here. She doesn't know what's going on. But there's that scene with the heart that's pretty sappy.
Anyway, now I know what you're talking about.
Okay, yeah, where they're in the apartment and he's telling her how much money or whatever.
Oh my god, that was
I can't believe you don't. Well, I could forget that one.
It goes back to the Born Sexy Yesterday show. Okay, all right. We're gonna wrap this up real quick. So we're running out of time on the camera. Overall, we're seeing in the theater. We're gonna close this video
I might
out.
even buy it if I see it used.
Yeah. And I'm gonna close this out, and then I'm gonna come back. And we're gonna spoil that one scene because that was just ridiculous. So, anyways, thanks for watching. I'm Jeff,
Jason,
and get on the bandwagon. And if you don't mind getting one scene spoiled, go ahead and stick around for a second. If you don't want it spoiled, go ahead and take off. All right. So the scene you're referring to is when she's in his apartment, and she literally.
Well, because he's like, I gotta get it. It was Zion, by the way, and that reminded me of the Bible, Mount Zion.
Okay.
All right. So definitely it had some Bible stuff, and the villain's name being Nova. I mean, hell, the chick's name in Planet of the Apes was Nova, so Nova's always been a recurring sci-fi thing. Nova Corps in the MCU. But anyway, she goes to his apartment, watches him sleep. He's waking up. He explains to her how his dream is to get to Zion. Everybody's dream is to get to Zion, by the way. Everybody's. It's like the thing. So that's why Motorball is so big. The winner, they pick a guy once a year to go up to Zion, who's the greatest guy in Motorball or whatever. So this kid's doing some shady stuff. He's trying to get in favorable to the people that he thinks can get into Zion. She comes in, he gives her the whole spiel, and she's just like, well, just, I have something. And she opens her chest.
Literally pulls her heart out of her chest to hand to him.
And take it,
Like her existence is so meaningless that she's just gonna hand it over to a boy.
Yeah, you can get like $5,000 for it. Why not?
Yeah. So and that goes
he doesn't take it, which is good for him.
Yeah, but that was. Anyways, that was probably.
But we'll also too. Let's explain.
Moment.
Her heart is so expensive because they figure out she's actually a product of Zion. So.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, we're doing spoilers anyway.
Yeah.
If they stuck around, they're doing.
Well, I'm not. There's a whole aspect of the storyline of the war.
Right, but I mean, the reason the heart was so expensive, the reason why he can't just go get any cybernetic heart, was this was like the uber technology of Zion.
Yeah,
that's how she knew how to fight, and she was perfect.
Right. Yeah, so that whole scene was cringeworthy.
Yeah.
Got to wrap it up because the camera's about to shut off.
Yeah.
So for the last time, I'm Jeff.
Jason.
Get on the bandwagon.
Happy trails.